Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, I want to have a chat with you about flying bases. I've had these with my Necrons, my Alda. I've had a lot of experience with them, and I just want to have a chat really about repairing them, because let's face it, they break, and they break quite often. So this is a typical flying base. Just a note, I always paint my bases underneath and on the top, which is how I do it. I know some people like to leave it clear, that's up to you. But yeah, so what tends to happen is you glue your Mini onto this tiny little stem. It works fine after a few games, sometimes in the case, or if you knock it over, or you just touch it, it snaps off. And that happens quite regularly. That's the most popular thing to happen. Now, to be fair, if that happens, you only have two choices. The first choice is to snap the stem off and then go in underneath and drill out the hole, get a little file, and then put a brand new stem in. So that's option one. Option two would be to replace that little stem at the top with a magnet, and then put a magnet onto your whatever you're magnetizing. Now, sometimes you'll find that the thing that you're magnetizing on is actually quite heavy. So rather than just having one single magnet, you could have an extra magnet on the top, which is what I do here. Now you can check out my other videos. My tomb blades, magnetized tomb blade video, that's got this on, shows you how to do that. And also have another one, how to magnetize flying bases, and it shows you how to do this one. So yeah, check my other videos out for those. So that's one thing. Now the other thing that can happen, which has also happened to me, is you could potentially accidentally drop your model, and then what happens is it snaps off here. So this base section comes off. Now there's a few options. Again, you can just drill out the hole and put a new stem in. That is one option. But what's happened here, which is why I've sort of come to this video really, is I have this base which I'm doing for my Gothic army, which I basically have a load of these bases and they're all broken. So what I've had to do, this particular one had nothing in the middle, so I put some green stuff in there, but effectively it could be just a plastic stand, so as long as you've got something in the hole. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole into here, and I'm going to drill a hole right the way up the stem as much as I can get it, and then I'm going to pin it with a paper clip, super glue it, and also a little bit of green stuff in there as well, just to really hold it into place. Now that should do the trick. Now this is fine for my Gothic stuff because I've got black stems, so you're not going to be able to see that pin. Now obviously if you're using this design and you're fussy like me, you're not going to want to have a pin going all the way up the centre. So you might have to just replace this stem or use the magnet. Just replace the stem if this piece is broken. But if you're not that fussy and you don't mind having a pin there, or indeed you paint your stuff, then yeah, putting a pin could be the best option. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pin this now, and I'll come back and let you have a look at it when it's finished. Right, there you go. So I have now pinned this, and basically I drilled a hole with my little drill piece, about that deep, and I put a paper clip in there, which I just chopped up with those pliers, and I've also drilled a hole into there. Now I've super glued that, so put super glue in the hole and along that paper clip and pushed it in, let that dry. Now on mine, you probably saw earlier, I have this washer on mine which was already there. Now this is going to be quite useful because it means I can get a bit of extra green stuff at the bottom. But if you don't have that, just cut this a bit shorter, it should still work. So yeah, what I'm going to do then is put two very tiny pieces of green stuff just on the ends here, just to help give it that extra stickiness as such when it goes into position. I'm going to get some super glue, put a little piece of super glue on here, start at the top and just let it drip down is what I tend to do, and then stick it into the little hole we made earlier. There we go, nice fit. Bend it into a nice straight position, because obviously we want it straight. Just having a look at that. Yeah, that looks pretty straight to me. And yeah, I mean that would be it really in your position. But obviously I've got this washer, so I'm just going to bung some more green stuff in that little hole and finish it up. Leave that to dry for a few hours, because obviously we've got the green stuff in there as well, so I'm going to make sure it's really, really dry. And then I shall be back, because I'm going to be magnetising this massive heavy model onto that, and you'll be surprised, but that is going to be perfect by the time you finish. Right, there you go, so that's all dried. Put a little bit of green stuff, as I said, in the bottom there, not too much. And yeah, it's really, really strong. I'm very, very happy with that. That is basically just like new. So I have this big model here, and what I did is I've put some green stuff and a magnet in here, but interestingly I didn't put it over the hole where the stem would go, and the reason for that is that hole isn't actually central. So what I did, I found the centre point, the centre weight point in the model where it wouldn't tip backwards or forwards, and that is where I glued the magnet. It just gives you a better chance of holding steady on the stand. So yeah, let's magnetise that up so you can see it in action. There you go. So I have to say, this model here, Void Stalker, what an amazing Battlefleet Mini this is. I am so looking forward to painting it. But yeah, that's it for how to repair stems. Hopefully this was useful to you, and more to come.